In these two examples, we're going to look at using just multiplication and division to solve a problem. So in the first problem, you're looking, again, you're always going to zero in on that equal sign first and see what you have. There's no pluses or minuses. There's a negative number, but there's nothing being added or subtracted. So we're just going to look at this negative number that's right next to the variable. We want to move that. We want the w by itself. So it is multiplied right now. The opposite of that is divide. So you're going to draw a division bar and write the -8. You get to take the sign with you because the opposite thing is dividing this time. So you will move the negative number. And you're going to divide by -8 on both sides. And in this case, what we have on the left is a fraction, and we would like to reduce that fraction. The right-hand side cancels out, but the left-hand side, if we divide that by 4, that will give us a -1/2. 4 divided by 4 on the top, and -8 divided by 4 on the bottom. The number will stay negative, and it will be 1/2. So our final answer is -1/2 equal to W. The equation on the right has some like terms, so you're going to zero in on the equal sign, and you'll notice that you have some like terms on the left side, and you also have some like terms on the right hand side. So we want to put those together first before we do anything else. So you're going to do exactly what you see. -18 plus 2 is -16, and -7w plus 5w is -2w. Your equation becomes -16 equals -2w. The variables on the right, we need to move that number, so we're going to divide by the entire number. The negative comes with you whenever you divide. Divide by the negative. The -2's will cancel out, and you will have a +8 on the left-hand side. Alright, nobody panic because we're going to look at some fractions, and fractions are just numbers just like any other number. What you're looking at is the equal sign first, and then where is that variable? Which fraction do we want to move? The one with the variable. You've got a -4/9. We would like to flip and multiply that, so let's write that equation down and multiply by a -9/4. Both sides. Notice the side that we're moving, everything cancels out. The 9's cancel, the 4's cancel, the negatives turn positive, everything's gone. On the left-hand side, we just have to multiply those. You can use a calculator or you can do them by hand. If you're doing them by hand, you're checking your diagonals to see if anything can be made smaller. The 9 and the 4 cannot, and neither can the 1 and the 4, so you're going to multiply straight across and get -9/16 equals W. What we did there was just took the 9 times 1 for the 9 on the top, and the 4 times 4 for the 16 on the bottom. The final answer is negative because we multiplied a negative fraction by a positive fraction. Looking at the right equation, we zero in on the equal sign, and looks like we've got some like terms. We've got 2 w's on the left, and we've got just 2 fractions on the right. So we're going to put these together. The -2/3 w plus 7/3 w is 5/3 w, and the -1/5 minus 6/5 is -7/5. All we did was add the numerators. -2 plus 7 is 5, and keep the denominator of 3. We did the same thing on the right hand side. -1 minus 6 is -7, and then we kept the 5. So our new equation is 5/3 w equals -7/5. We want to move the fraction that's next to the variable, so that's the 5/3. That's the one we're moving. We're going to flip it and multiply it. So looking at the original equation, multiply by 3/5 on both sides. That cancels out the fraction on the left-hand side. And on the right-hand side, check your diagonals. Everything looks good, so multiply straight across. -21/25 is your final answer.